Morning. Welcome. What's up, guys? Welcome to your FieldsChoice.com daily hit and run show for August 30th, Tuesday night, which is usually a big slate. So anybody that's new, check us out, yourFieldsChoice.com. Feels like I've said this a million times, but getting near the end of the season, one more month pretty much. The shows will be winding down pretty much with college football season starting. And we'll still have shows, but they'll probably be like on the big slates. So college football show tomorrow night, 9 p.m. With me and Chris Duffy. We'll be breaking down the Thursday 11 game college football slate. So we'll be kicking that off tomorrow night, 9 p.m. on the same Your Fields Choice YouTube network. So please subscribe, please hit the thumbs up, all that. $25 a month. That includes all sports, and this is definitely the time to get in before the prices go back to normal because you get all sports. And we cover pretty much everything. Like today, we got soccer going. We will have cores for that. We have cores out for the U.S. Open tennis, which starts I think in an hour. I think it's 11 a.m. But of course we have the NASCAR every weekend with Eric's information. Of course, MLB, every single slate. MLB, we cover every slate for college football, pretty much including all showdowns, all the weekly stuff. A lot of the slates that the other sites don't carry. NFL coming up, of course. So within like 2 weeks. So of course we'll have all that and then live sheets for that. But MLB. So crazy night last night with the rain. I pulled up a lot of the guys in St. Louis for cash. So not a great night. So just get right back into today. I was on a nice little streak, and last night I had a couple good GPPs, but I had a Cardinal stack with the Phillies, but cash was kind of blah. The big arms aren't coming through. So I don't know why I continue to play most of these guys. So that might be a strategy to look at in the future. The big arms just aren't coming through. Weather, there's one game we got to pay attention to, Oakland at Washington, and I am interested in Cole Irvin in that game. But we may not get that game. Right now we're seeing a bunch of storms coming through. I'm seeing like 70% chance precipitation. So according to Kevin Roth, Rotor Grinders, pretty clear late start and play, but it could change, so it could be a postponement. So pay attention to that. That's the main game we're talking about for weather. Maybe a little bit in the Mets game, the Mets and Dodgers at Citi Field. They're talking about like a late inning delay or something, but that's it. So pretty much Oakland and Washington. That's a Cole Irvin game. I think it's a 7:05 p.m. game. So it's 11 game slate, DraftKings, because a few games at 6:40. So we're actually going to miss the Cardinals matchup. They're starting at 6:40 with a couple other teams, so we don't have to worry. It's Cardinals, Reds, Indians, Orioles, Rays, Miami. I think those three games. So they're not on the slate. All right, so let's look at Vegas. Vegas for tonight, 7 p.m. 12 game slate, 7:05 p.m. on DraftKings and FanDuel. Top implied team with top implied runs right now per Vegas is the Braves, 5.4. They open at 5.4 and they're still at 5.4. And why? Because they're facing Jose Urena, who is the gas can of all gas cans. They should smoke, but it always seems like every time we see, what was the last time Urena pitched in Coors and everybody loaded up on him? He actually did pretty well. But he's going up against the Braves with the best offenses in baseball. He's a right-hander. The Braves should be smoking him. I mean, right now I'm looking Jose Urena against left-handed batters, 9.7% strikeout rate. That's it. 400 WOBA allowed, 193 ISO allowed. That's bad. So the Braves should be teeing off against righties a little bit better, 17% strikeout rate. So Braves are going to be popular tonight, especially probably a chalky GPP. Just know they're going to be high owned. And then after that, we have the Brewers. Brewers have been playing much better. Garrett Mitchell hit a bomb last night. They're 5.2 implied runs. They're going up against Pittsburgh tonight. Mitch Keller's going for Pittsburgh. Who's going for Milwaukee tonight? Jason Alexander. So there could be some runs in this game. What is it? The over-under is 9. So they're the only two teams over 5 implied runs. The Brewers 5.2 and the Braves 5.4. Beside that, Blue Jays 4.9 runs going up against the Cubbies. Taijuan Walker, Taijuan Walker's pitching for the Mets tonight. Who's pitching for the Cubs tonight? Marcus Stroman. I guess Stroman and Taiwan Walker mix it all the time. Marcus Stroman, who's been pitching terrible. Stroman's rolling for the Cubs, going up against Toronto, 4.9 in pipe for Toronto. Then you got the Yankees at Los Angeles Angels, 4.9 runs. Judge hit another bomb last night. And then that's it. Then you got maybe some Dodgers, Seattle, Washington. So 2 teams above 5 runs. Brewers and Braves. They'll be popular stacks. And you got the Jays, Twins, and Yankees. I didn't mention the Twins. Twins are too tilting. But guess who's pitching for the Red Sox? Cutter Crawford. So we've been picking on Cutter Crawford a lot. On the money line, the biggest favorite of the night is the Braves. Of course, Max Fried, minus 375 against the Rockies. Minus 375 at home. Then only one other team above minus 200 on money line is the Blue Jays. They're minus 210. Like you just said, they're going up against Marcus Stroman. Kevin Gausman is going for the Blue Jays. I like Kevin Gausman a lot tonight. He's one of my favorite pitchers, especially in GPPs. And then we have the Brewers minus 180 and the Yankees minus 180. Jameson Towns going for the Yankees. So once again, anybody any questions, comments, throw it in the chat. If anybody's watching live, anybody's watching on demand later on today, thank you. Please hit the thumbs up button, all that. Let's get to some baseball. Probably go pretty quick here today. Pitching. Right now, I do have some early ownership. It may be spread out. This will be one of those sites where we're not going to have, like last night, it was pretty much everybody was on Burns and Rodon, who pretty much got burned. If you're off them, you're fine. But 3 big arms going tonight. Max Fried, Kevin Gausman, Aaron Nola. They're your 3 popular plays. All between like 27% owned and 33% owned. I may end up going cheap tonight. I'm not sure. Aaron Nola is in a good spot. He's facing Colorado. Colorado is just right now. Arizona. Arizona is pretty bad right now, but not a lot of strikeouts like we're used to. So that's one thing about Arizona is right now they're only striking out the last 2 weeks. They're only striking out 16.9% against righties, but still low 295 WOBA, 174 ISO on the season, 21.2% against righties. So Aaron Nola is probably the overall top arm. He's been pitching well over the last 30 days, 30% strikeout rate, or really low 3% walk rate. That SEER is 2.68, pretty good. Coming off a really good game. His last game was against the Reds, I believe. Let me find it. It was against the Reds. Big game. Yeah, he had that. It's 48 point DK fantasy points. 101 pitches, 11 Ks, only gave up 5 hits, no earned runs. Of course, it's the Reds, AAA team pretty much now, but he's facing Arizona. Like I said, they're not striking out. They were against righties, but Aaron Nola should be able to shut these guys down, but you got to pay 10-6 for him. So he is your top cash play. I may go him, somebody else cheap. I may go 2 other cheap guys, but he is the overall top play. Max Fried. I like Max Fried a lot. He comes in $700 cheaper than Nola. Max Fried is turning to an ace. There's no way around it. He's turned to an ace going up against Colorado. You pick on Colorado on the road. Colorado's a bad team on the road. His last start, Fried's last start was against the Mets, and he pitched really well against the Mets. No, his last start was against Pirates. He pitched the Pirates in Pittsburgh, 32 DK points, but then before that, against the Mets, pitched very well. So he's brought a nice roll. Last 5 starts, 2.48 FIP, 2.12 ERA. That's elite. 0.88 WHIP. That's elite. K rate's a little bit low, 8.2 per 9, but we don't usually pitch Max Fried for the strikeouts. Doesn't walk batters. Like I said, really low walk rate. I have him at 1.1 per 9. So Max Fried, really good start. Last 4 starts, I think, 24 DK points or more, 5 Ks plus his last 5 starts. And going up, and he's facing Colorado, who is I think they're over 20% last 2 weeks strikeout rate. They are 21.6 on the season. They're on the season pretty low, still 18.3, but 21.6 for the last 2 weeks to get left-handed pitching. So Fried, I like Fried a lot. I do like Noah. The other guy is Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman, another guy in a great spot. I think Kevin Gausman is too cheap here. Gausman is only 8.7K on DK. Great spot. He's at home against the Cubs. Also, that's true. I'm thinking they're in Canada, so I'm not positive if anybody's watching this. Is there any Cubbies that didn't make the trip because of the COVID restrictions? He may get that plus. Pitching in Canada tonight. He's striking out. Let me see his last 5 starts. He's striking out. Over the last 30 days, I'm seeing like a 27% K rate. Last 5 starts, only 23% K rate. He had a couple bumps. That Mets game was a bump in the road. But last 2 games, no, that's Freed. Hold on. Galsman, I think his last start was a tough one, right? His last start was at Fenway, the Red Sox. That was a tough one. Sorry. Before that, Yankees had a really good start against Yankees, 30 DK points. So he's been up and down. Cleveland beat him up pretty good. Cleveland knows a team we don't like to pick on as a pitcher. Said Boston and Fenway hit him up. He gave up 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, but a really good game against the Yankees. But I do think he's in a good spot tonight against the Cubbies. Right now, the Cubs striking out 23.1, but on the season, 25.4 to right-handed pitching. That's actually the tied for the Tigers for the highest strikeout rate on the slate overall in the season. So Galsman is definitely in play. Probably more no, I guess he's a cash play. I mean, he's got a 3.00 Sierra, 14% whiff, 40% chase. These are on his last 5 starts. He goes. I mean, he's going to go 6-7 innings. And Kevin Gausman is a type of guy that he throws fastball splitter. I think he goes back and forth that fastball splitter, and that could be some trouble tonight for the Cubbies. So Gausman is in cash talk. He's got to be. So there's going to be some decisions got to be made tonight. Where are we going for cash? But I think there's so many ways we can go. And another name we didn't even mention is Framber Valdez. I mean, Framber Valdez, you can roll Valdez. He is 10-1, but you can roll Valdez every day. This guy is a quality start machine. So his streak now is up to like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He's at almost like, or maybe more, 20 straight quality starts. Every single start. K rate's only 8.4 per 9, but you can deal with that. Last 5 starts, 2.36 ERA. He's not, he's not like a fancy pitcher, but he's a safe play. Very safe play. So I just not sure if I can pay that much for him tonight, because you can definitely go Nola, Gausman, Fried, 2 of those 3 and roll. But there's some other places we can go tonight. I think you can start with George Kirby. I think George Kirby could technically be like your SP1. Kirby's been pitching really well. Let me get his numbers up here. Yeah, this could be some tough decisions here to make. Where are we going to roll? He does have the upside of some of these other guys like the Gausmans, and the Nolas and the Frieds, but he gets it done. 24.9% strikeout rate, 3.20 Sierra. He's just came off a great game against the Nationals, 9 strikeouts, 7 innings, and now he's facing the Tigers. The Tigers right now are the worst offense in baseball by far, and the Angels are no longer the worst offense. I mean, sub 2.7 WOBA, 25%. So right now they're striking out. I said the slate worst on the season, 25.9 to righties, 24.2 the last 2 weeks. Terrible offense. 238 WOBA, team WOBA, 150 team ISO. Kirby's a good young pitcher. We do know these young guys can be volatile, but when you're rocking a 2.59 Sierra, you got like 12K per 9 in your last 5 starts. Yeah, last 5 starts, 12 point and 30% K rate last 5 starts. So I think George Kirby at this price, 8.5, could technically be your SP1 if you don't want to pay up for the Noahs. Noah's in a great spot. And so is Fried. But George Kirby against the Tigers, I just have some reason when I pitch studs against the Tigers, they always seem to hit. It's a personal thing with me, but So Kirby's in there. Blake Snell, people are talking about. He was on such a roll, and then he just got dick slapped in his last game. Who was that? Because I played him. Who his pitches last game was against the Indians. It was just because and you don't pitch against the Indians. Like they made a mistake because Snell is pitching so well, and the Indians slapped him around. So now he's going up against San Francisco. San Francisco does not scare you anymore. All the whole team seems to be hurt. But you look at it. You look the last 30 days for Blake Snell. This guy's got 35% strikeout rate. Last 5 starts, 35%, 34.5% strikeout rate, 13.2 K per nine his last 5 starts. And right now, he's facing the Giants. The Giants right now are striking out 22% against lefties, 23% on the season. Their team is pretty much packed it in. So Snell, though, because of volatility and what we've seen in the last start against Cleveland, still to me is GPP territory. To me. Who else we got? There's one more. I know there's another pitcher that I want to put. Blake's Singer. Brady Singer. So Brady Singer is only 8.9 facing the White Sox. That's too cheap for Brady Singer. He's not priced high enough. So Brady Singer, looks like his last 5 starts. I mean, he's got a 3 wins, 2.25 ERA. He's given us over 22 fantasy points a game his last 5 starts. So Singer's in play. I'm not playing Giolito, but Giolito will be popular because of his name. 8.2K, 8.4 on FanDuel, not a bad price. Nice Sierra, 3.78 facing the Royals. Good matchup with on the other side of Brady Singer. So I just need a whole bunch of pitchers that we could definitely be rolling out as cash tonight. So right now, where would I go if I was if the game? And who else am I missing? I didn't mention Andrew Haney's a good spot too. I guess GVP. He's throwing really well. Last 22 innings, 2.38 Sierra, 14 strikeouts per 9. So right now, if I was at lock, where would I go? Probably, man, I probably would go one expensive guy like a Fried, and then down to like a Kirby. But Kevin Gausman is only $200 more than Kirby. So right now, maybe Fried and Gausman. Wow, you can't go wrong. You can go Noah Gausman, Noah Fried, Gausman Fried. Throwing Kirby in there. And then he mentioned Framber Valdez again. I mean, he's great lefty. He probably has Valdez probably has the highest floor safe pitcher, all those quality starts, but he doesn't have that ceiling. So it's cash play. All right, so right now, if I was going to look at it, I'd probably roll. You can't go wrong with Noah either. I'd probably roll like a Noah Gausman. But once again, they're the 2 highest projected pitchers on the slate, ownership-wise. Might be a little bit different, and I throw Kirby in there. Brady Singer's only looking like 3% ownership. You get Mike Myers is projected higher owned than Brady Singer. And the other pitcher is Cole Irvin. The only problem I'm worried about now is the rain. But if that game goes off and we know it's safe, Cole Irvin will definitely be in some GPPs of mine. Coming off a great start against Miami, 36 DK points, 11 strikeouts. Cole Irvin's a talented pitcher. He's got a 1.00 whip over his last 5 starts. And he had a couple of tough starts in against Houston and Seattle. But a really good start against the Angels. A good start against Houston. I think that was like a 6 star to go. But great start against Miami. Now he'd go up against Washington right now, who's only hitting 127 against lefties, 299 WOBA against lefties, pitcher-friendly park. Nationals Park's pitcher-friendly. And the team is striking out 24.9% the last 2 weeks since lefties. So Cole Irvin is my favorite cheapo dart type play. I talked about Mike Meyer, one of the last live streams he pitched. I was really on to Mike Meyer, and he actually had a good game. I'm not messing with Mike Meyer tonight, but maybe if I'm making 20 lineups or something. But I'm going up against Yankees only 5-2, so maybe I would if I'm making 20. He's got some new pitches. He worked on the minors, came back up to pitching well. Cutter Crawford, nope. I think Cutter Crawford's a terrible pitcher. So my favorite cheapo is Cole Irvin at 7.9. Maybe like a Matt Manning. I see his velocity's up at 6.7. So his velo is up against Seattle. He could also get bounced around a bit too, but it's good to see his numbers up. All right, so bring him on. That's pitching. Let's move on to hitters. Catcher. Once again, we don't spend too much time on catching. Let me just pull my numbers up here. Once again, the Braves are going to be very popular tonight. We all know that. Catcher is usually a spot that we drop down value, especially a night like tonight when we want to roll like a Kevin Gausman and like a Gausman or Valdez, and these guys. You want to drop down. So who right now looking at catching ownership is probably going to be Travis Denard or Contreras. It is Travis Denard, either him or Contreras. Travis Denard is only 3.6. If Travis Denard gets a start against Arena, he's the play. He's only 3.6 against Jose Arena. Okay, he's a top player there. Salvi Perez hitting again. He gets a righty though against Giolito. Perez had a good game Sunday. He's one of your higher projected guys. I didn't even mention Zach Gallen tonight because he's going up against the Phillies. But who else we got? Cheapo, Shane Langoliers. If that game goes off in Washington, so we love or not, Travis Denard. Danny Jansen's probably my favorite value play on the slate at catcher at 3.6. He's probably who I would lock in if I want to get cheap here, and then just move on to first base. So BBP wise, there's really Salvi Perez hits Giolito, 10 for 28 with 3 bombs. So you're stacking the row. You always stack against Giolito. I'll throw a roll stack in there. Make sure you get Salvi in that stack. And Travis Denard lifetime's 3 for 9 against Jose Arena. So Salvi's your pay up. Denard, you're probably my favorite play at 3.6. He's the same price as Danny Jansen. So Jansen against Stroman said Marcus Stroman has been terrible. Marcus Stroman's turned out to be a bad pitcher. I used to think he was good at one point. But I think you might have to choose between Danny Jansen and Denard. And the thing is, Denard's going to be very popular. But don't sleep on a guy like Jansen here. 219, he got 219 ISO against righties. So Danny Jansen hits righties. 38% hard contact, good numbers. 54% fly ball rate. And Stroman doesn't have bad numbers against righties really, but I kind of like Danny Jansen here. But Denard being a popular play. Hit 500 the last week, so he's hitting the ball. 2 for 5 yesterday. Before that against the Angels, he was 1 for 2. So Jansen or Travis Denard. And Salvi's your pay up here. Pretty easy. Denard's been hitting all too. 440 over the last week. 2 bombs, 5 ribbies. Hit 350 over the last month. 306 ISO. 429 OBP. So we got a couple safe, pretty safe, cheap catchers. Denard or Danny Jansen. Or go up to Salvi. All right, and that's catching. We don't talk about catching much here. First base. Looking at early ownership projections right now, it's all about Matt Olson. Matt Olson's in a bomb spot against Jose Arena. Bomb spot. I'll have him in my lineup. He's one of those guys, you just got to lock him in. There's not that many teams tonight in really good spots. And one of them is the Braves, of course. Now we're not seeing the Matt Olson of last year. He was in Oakland. But remember, he had like 40 homers, 39 homers last year. But bomb city tonight. Lock him in. Pay the $5,100 and take him. Ohtani's rolling again, though. Ohtani's really rolling. Last 20 games, hitting 348, 5 homers, 14 ribbies. So 6,300 though. That's the problem. I mean, if you're gonna do a pay up tonight, you got like a Judge or Ohtani, Olsen, but you want to be different. I would go to Olsen. I may go to Ohtani from Olsen. Olsen's gonna be real high owned. You get Rowdy Tellez again. What happened to Tellez? I know he got pulled last night. He got hurt. Was it running the base or something? So I'm not sure Tellez is gonna be in the lineup, but if he is, great spot against Mitch Keller. Joey Menendez, good spot against Cole Irvin. If he could start, still hitting 360 over his last 20 games. Nathaniel Lowe. You know, it's a tough matchup against Framber Valdez, but Nathaniel Lowe's probably one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. So you can keep playing him. 450 over the last week, 395 over the last 20 games. Last 20 games, 7 homers, 20 ribbies, 309 ISO, 484 WOBA. Nathaniel Lowe. He's just smoking the ball right now. I guess he's matchup proof. So Lau, and he's 4K. So Lau's in play. Definitely. I don't care who he's hitting against. Rizzo, good spot against Mike Myers. Rather see Rizzo at Yankee Stadium, lefty righty, but good spot. He's got 230 ISO against righties. So Anthony Rizzo's in play. Overall, it's all about Matt Olson. That's just an easy one. Any values we like? Seth Brown, I think. I guess Eric Fetty. I play Seth Brown a lot in GPPs, so you can't go wrong there. Over the last 15 days, the hottest first baseman is Goldie, but Goldie's not on a slate. Abreu is on a slate though, but I like Singer. So nobody we really have to play. Yanni Diaz, but he's an early slate. All right, so it's Olsen is your top play. Ohtani's a pay up. Olsen's gonna be a popular play. We like Tellez. I'm not sure Tellez is gonna be playing. Nathaniel Lau, of course. You can play Nathaniel every single game right now until he slows down. Top value, Mike Ford's. I think Mike Ford hit on the bomb last night, so I guess play him. He's a hot bat. No great value. I like Seth Brown. Joey Menendez. And it's pretty much it, I guess. All right, second base. Well, since again, we're going to be looking at Braves. I mean, Vaughn Grissom. Has Vaughn Grissom's price gone up yet? I doubt it. He's 2.8 still. So DK's pretty much packed into MLB season. I guess to worry about football. So right now, the most popular play ownership-wise is Colton Wong. Colton Wong see any ownership. I'm going to roll Vaughn Grissom. So, like I said, I'm going to roll like a Kevin Gausman and a Nola, somebody like that, or Gausman and a Fried, throw a McGuire, Denard Ketchen, Olsen first, go right to second base with Vaughn Grissom at 2.8. That's where I'm rolling. He's just too cheap. When Colton Wong is controlling the ownership right now, second base is kind of shitty tonight. You do have Altuve, right against Dunning. Arias, can hit. Wong is in a good spot, but I'm going down to the kid here. Why would I not go to Vaughn Grissom at 2.8? He has slowed down a bit though. I do have to say that he's only got 0 for 4, 0 for 4, so 0 for 8, 1 for 5, so 1 for 13, 1 for 18, 3 for 22 over the last 5 games. So he has slowed down, but facing Jose Arena, Vaughn Grissom can handle Arena. That's probably what I'm playing. Is probably going to play Vaughn Grissom at second base. When you're batting against a guy with a 554 Sierra, and you got a guy 2.8 at second base, that's a cheap way to get a part of Atlanta Braves stack. A couple cheap ones. If that A's Nationals game goes off, Cesar Hernandez really cheap. Tony Kemp really cheap. Both those guys I think are good spots. Both should be leading off tonight, so you can get really cheap with either of those guys if that game goes. I have no problem with that, but I'm not paying up. Romy Gonzalez, I'm done with him. He had a good game the other day though. Luis Arias continues to hit, so I guess Arias at 4K, not a bad spot, I guess. He's always in play. Hitting 296 last 20 games, so he's gone down a little bit. But Vaughn Grissom, I think just lock in Vaughn Grissom. You get now. I'm going to play Wilmer Flores somewhere because he's going up against lefties, Blake Snell. But I will have Wilmer Flores in a GVP somewhere. Wilmer Flores versus lefty is a thing. Looking at advanced metric wise, and there's really no even stands out advanced metric wise tonight. Theo Estrada has the highest ISO on the slate. That's against Blake Snell. Any BVP data? Nope. Nobody. Marcus Semien slightly against Valdez. All right, so let's just go cheap at second base. And my cheapo is going to be Vaughn Grissom. If you don't like Grissom, because he's cold. I mean, Wong is 3-1. He's only $300 more. So he's hit much better. He's hit 390 over the last week. And he wasn't terrible. He wasn't a pretty bad slump there. So he had a hit last night, 1 for 3. The day before that, he was 3 for 5. He had a big weekend, 3 for 5, 2 for 4, a couple home runs. So Wong or Grissom, but I just like to pick on Urian tonight. Third base. So I'm going to be about Austin Riley probably. Anybody's going to be clamoring for Riley. And Riley, Riley's a stud, having a great season, right? You're right. He's slowed down a bit. Key Brian Hayes, good spot. If you want somebody cheap, he's only 2.5 on FanDuel, 3.4 on DK. I mean, Hayes had a great year. He's got like 14 steals though. And Jason Alexander is probably one of the worst pitchers on the slate tonight. So when you got a guy with a 498 Sierra, walks batters, Key Brian Hayes is a decent spot for GPP. Riley's the play. No BVP that stands out. If you get the Riley, you got to get the Riley. Jace Peterson. If Jace Peterson plays, you can play Jace Peterson. I mean, I'm looking either probably like a Riley, Jace Peterson, or Key Brian Hayes as my third baseman. Well, why am I? I mean, Alex Bregman's 4.8. So Bregman is $700 less than Riley. Yeah, so I got to backtrack here. So looking at Riley, he's getting hot again now. He's hitting 350 over his last week. Still only 234 his last 20 games. But then you compare it to Alex Bregman, who's been fire. Bregman, 440 over his last week, 371 over his last 20 games. 7 homers, 20 ribbers. The guy just keeps on hitting. Last game against Baltimore, he had a home run. That actually helped me out Sunday. He had a home run. He had a home run, I think, against Minnesota one day last week. But Bregman, $700 cheaper in a really good spot against Dane Dunning. So I think you do take the savings, even though everybody's going to try to get to Riley. I like the Bregman call. Dunning's no pushover. 430 xFIP's not great though. 20% strikeout rate. It's righty, but Bregman against righties. 231 ISO, 381 WOBA. I mean, his elite numbers. 42% hard contact. 45% fly ball rate against righties. Bregman's number one pitch to righties is a slider. Slider or sinker. He does not throw a fastball. Dane Dunning's not throwing a fastball to anybody. But slider or sinker, it is a sinker. Bregman doesn't hit the slider that well. Boy, Yordan Alvarez does. Hits the sinker. Hits a splitter. Sorry. I'm really confusing myself. He hits a sinker pretty well, but he struggles a little bit on a slider. So that does bring me down a little bit, but I still think it's a great play. I still take the discount on Bregman. If you had the money, I guess you go Austin Riley. But if you really need the discount, then you go down to Bregman. But I probably just confused you all there. But any cheapo plays? I mean, Yeimer Candelario has been crushing the ball. Nice to see finally, because he's had such a terrible season. But last 2 games, back-to-back home runs, last 2. And the game before that, he had, I think, a double or 2. I mentioned Key Bryant as my cheapo. Yeah, so Bregman or Riley, Key Bryant, Hayes, Jace Peterson. That's what I'm looking at third. Devers to me is just I don't play Devers anymore. He's got until something's not right with him. Bobby Witt's been blah to me. JD Davis maybe against Snell. GPP though. Third base is kind of shitty. Okay, shortstop. I'm probably gonna drop down. I'm gonna probably play like an Oswaldo Cabrera again. Cabrera last night thought he hit a home run and it wasn't. Thought he was in Yankee Stadium. But I'm gonna keep playing Cabrera until his price goes up. I just think he's really talented and he's gonna go off. He's hitting 380 over the last week. I mean, mostly just singles, but he had a pretty couple good games against Oakland there. Oswaldo Cabrera at 3K is one of my favorite plays there. If you want to, remember, we've got to get some value somewhere. But if you want to pay up, of course, it's Dansby's in a great spot. Dansby at 5.3. So if you do drop down a third or second, then you go to Dansby. But Dansby, great spot. Willie Adames is a great spot. But Adames, he's another volatile player, man. He'll swing and miss, and boom, it's a bomb. So you got, to me, Willie Adames still is a GPP player. 26 homers on a season. I think that's a career high for him. But my problem with Dansby is he strikes out too much for a cash player, but he's going up against Jose Arena. We said Jose Arena is not striking anybody out, so that kind of nullifies that. So Dansby, Adames, Oswaldo Cabrera is my favorite cheapo. I guess you can go like a Romy Gonzalez if he's leading off against Singer. C.J. Abrams has been doing nothing yet, and wait for him to kind of wake up. I like Oswaldo Cabrera. But overall, you want to get to Dansby if you can. Bobby Witt projects really well against Giolito. And of course, O'Neal Cruz can hit righties really hard, but he needs to go back to the minor leagues for hitting. So Bobby Witt Jr., and he's been a little bit of a pain for me. I played him Sunday. Witt against Giolito. It's righty, but we know Giolito likes to go out guys with his fastball or his slider. So can we hit his slider? Witt does not hit a slider well. Fastball, yeah. So no, I don't see where Witt is the highest projected shortstop on the slate. I see O'Neal Cruz is up there too, but O'Neal Cruz has got really, and he still does a really nice ISO against he's a 246 ISO against righties, but that's all. I mean, but a 209 batting average. So if Cruz gets a hold of one, he's going to let it loose, but he's still got to get a hold of it. Corey Seager, lefty against Valdez, only GPP. Bo against Stroman, yeah, it's a decent play. Of course, Lindor, but you can pay $5,800. All right, so I like Dansby. I like Adames GPP, and then you go somewhere cheap because Waldo Cabrera, something like that. GPP wise, Corey Seager does it. Valdez though, 5 for 12, 417 batting average. That's a decent number of at bats. Dansby against Urena, 5 for 20. Willie Adames 4 for 9 against Heller, so with bomb. So yeah, so that's pretty good. Maybe I put some Willie Adames a little bit more into cash territory than I thought. All right, so I said I like Dansby, like Adames, or a guy like a Cabrera or something like that. Outfield. So many outfielders. If you get the Judge, you get the Judge. Judge is the man. Aaron Judge just doesn't stop, bro. He's 6'5" now. But still, if I'm going to go to a Kuna at 6'1", he's a good spot. I'm going to get $400 more to play Aaron Judge against Mike Myers there. Christian Yelich's on fire right now. Christian Yelich at 4-1. You can keep playing Yelich until he slows down. I can't, it's good to see, though. I mean, it's good to see he's finally starting to hit the ball again. He had some tough injuries there. And last night, I think he was 1 hit, 1 for 5 or something. But So Judge is a great play. Betts is always a great play. Otani, smash play again. So you got to make some decisions. If you're going to be able to get one bat, Trout's 5.7 though now. So you might, unless you want to go down in one of the mid-range guys, something like that. JD Martinez against Archer, good spot. You know who's hitting really well? You want a dart is Victor Reyes for the Tigers. Victor Reyes has really been hitting the ball. He's minimum price, so he's a good minimum price. Over the last week, he's hitting 380. Last 20 games, hitting 315. And he's going up against George Kirby. So, we like Kirby, but for a punt like this, you can go Victor Reyes. Nelly Cruz, he's slowed down a bit, but Boomstick, we do know Boomstick can still put in work against lefties, and he's only 3.2 on DK, 2.6 on FanDuel. I'll use a little. I have no problem using a little Boomstick in there. Any awesome BBPs? Eloy Jimenez, 7 for 13 against Springer. Damn. Seven for 13 has 500 batting average. And he's hot. 332 over the last 20 games. So Eloy Jimenez is in play. What's Eloy? 3.8. I like that BBP a lot. 7 for 13. And then beside that, we mentioned the Seager. Nobody really stands out. Will Myers has Logan Webb a little bit. So don't sleep on Eloy tonight. How did I didn't look. I didn't know. I didn't fall asleep. How Corbin Carroll ended up doing last night. I like Corbin Carroll a lot. The kid's gonna be a stud. 1 for 5. He had a double. So I guess he had 2 RBI double. I think is that right for Corbin Carroll? I guess I fell asleep. But okay. So anybody else we're looking at for value? Nick Gordon's always in play. I said I love Victor Reyes tonight. Chad Pinder, if he gets a good spot, I'll play Chad Pinder a lot. If he's hitting like 4th or 5th. Garrett Mitchell. Mitchell had a good game last night again, so you can play Mitchell against Keller. Definitely lefty righty. Yeah, Garrett Mitchell, like him a lot. Then I mentioned Seth Brown. Eddie Rosario is now sub 3K. Lefty right against Urena, and he can handle Urena. So maybe Eddie Rosario tonight. He may see some ownership though. And then I mentioned Yelich. Tony Kemp leading up. I thought Tony Kemp was second base. He's only outfield eligible now on DK. All right, so there's some value plays. So to kind of run through it really quick, I mentioned the pitching. Right now, I'm probably looking at. Well, I didn't mention Verdugo either. Verdugo, outfield too. Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker is a really good spot. Okay, so we're looking at first pitching like Gausman, Nola, Valdez, even down to like a Singer. Catching, you go up to Salvi or McGuire / Denaud. First base is all about Matt Olson. Second base is all about Vaughn Grissom. If you're afraid of Grissom because he's not hitting the ball, you got Colton Wong. Third base is either Austin Riley or Alex Bregman. Shortstop, I'm all over Cabrera, but if not, then you go to like Willie Adames. Who's the other shortstop I just talked about? Just drew a blank. Dansby Swanson. And then outfielders, we got Acuna, we got Yelich, I mentioned Nelly Cruz, guys like JD Martinez, Victor Reyes is a great punt, Kyle Tucker, Verdugo. I may get a Red Sox in there if I don't get Verdugo, maybe like a Tommy Pham or something. All guys like that. Judge, of course, if you can get him in. Just don't know if you can. And it's probably it. Brian Reynolds, but he's just kind of not hitting much. All right, so who is my home run call of the day before we get out of here? Home run call of the day is I can't remember who mine was yesterday. Oh, I think I said Corbin Carroll or somebody. Non-Braves because we're facing the arena. So anybody non-Braves I like tonight is it would be definitely Yordan Alvarez. If is Alvarez playing because of his hand? Something's not right, but Yordan Alvarez is totally set to smash Dunning tonight if he plays. Bryce Harper, great spot against Zach Gallen, even though I respect Gallen. Evan Longoria is a really well against Blake Snell. I didn't mention him at third base. Nathaniel Lowe, of course, he just keeps on crushing. Okay, so my home run call is going to be Bryce Harper. Our top stacks are the Braves, of course. They're going to be very popular. I like the Red Sox tonight against Archer. I'm going to roll some Red Sox. Like the Brewers again, like the Dodgers, and of course, like the Yankees in Atlanta and in LA against Mike Mayers. And that's it. All right. Thank you. So today's Tuesday. So it's tomorrow night. We're going to have a college football show at 9 p.m. for the Thursday slate. Then we'll have a college football show for the main slate, probably Thursday, Friday. Friday mornings, EPL soccer. I'm not sure the next MLB show is going to be maybe Friday morning. I'm not sure about tomorrow. Let's see what my schedule is. But good luck tonight. Let's hit it. Let's make some money back from last night. And that's it.